All right, so don't mind my fancy camera holder here. Not professional, as always, but I promised an art and I completely spaced. But don't worry, because I have remembered, and I will be doing something for Memorial Day as we talked about on Thursday. So I'm going to start with a pencil that is sharp. There's one. And I'm just going to draw a couple of circles on my page. Now, I told you it's going to be poppy related. We talked about how poppies are a symbol of especially World Wars I and II, and the veterans. You often see people selling or handing out poppies in front of grocery stores around Veterans Day and Memorial Day, based on the poem In Flanders Field that is based on World War I. So we're going to draw a field of poppies. Very simple, but lovely design. The first time I did this, I had it over at text. I don't have text, and not everybody has printers, so I'm not going to do that today. We're just going to draw some poppies. So there's a couple ways you can do them, but we're going to do them this way. We're going to start by drawing some circles. Not too big, smaller than a dime probably, but not too many. Vary them in height and size, and they don't have to be perfect circles. Totally okay if the circles are not perfect, because none of us have circle machines, and flowers aren't perfect anyway. So once you've got circles, you can start on the actual petals. Now, the way that we're doing petals here is we're going to start by drawing some heart-ish shapes. So, if I can get this without my hand in the way, we're going to do 4 petals per flower, and that's way too big. Hang on. As always, drawing very lightly so you can erase. Oh, here we go. One trick I learned is to draw ticks where I want my petals to be. So 1, 2, 3, 4 tiny little ticks that will tell me where my petals are going to start and end. And I'm going to draw them out a little bit, and I'm going to come right back to that tick. Now, the second time, I'm going to turn my paper so it's easier. And I'm not going to start right here. I'm just going to follow that up and do the same thing over here. It's okay if they're not perfect, as always. And this time I'm actually going to start up here. It gives it the shape of, hey, this petal was behind that other petal. And then this one here is going to be behind them all. That petal's in the back. I'm going to do the same thing on all of my other dots. Now that I've drawn my 3 flowers, I can start to color. So poppies are traditionally for this season red. Let's see what this color red is. I've got multiple papers here. Flip this one over and see what color it looks like. Do I like candy apple red? Maybe. I think I prefer a darker one. Oh, so red. Oh yeah, that's much nicer. Or I could do a bit of both. A bit darker towards the middle and lighter towards the outside, where the sun will be hitting it more, so it'll be more light. You can kind of see through that. So maybe don't do it on the back of the paper you're working on. Tips and tricks, hooray. Let's scoot this over so I can actually do it. And being careful in my drawing. It's okay if I go into a little bit because the middle's going to be black, so it doesn't really matter. Pressing harder towards the center and then lighter as I go out. Sort of blending. Or just coloring it in regular. Etc. Keep hitting that. Okay, got the whole thing colored in. Not the greatest of shading. I'm not taking as much time on this as I should be, so take your time. It'll look a lot better if you do. You could start with a lighter color and then go over it with a darker color to get some shading, some color variation there, a little bit of gradient. However you do that, the center is going to be black. Traditional poppies have a black center. So we'll just color the center in black. Here. And I think I'll give them a trace in black as well, just to make the petals themselves pop a little bit. To cover up the pencil drawing that my red did not. Especially between the petals, so that I can tell the individual petals. This is not the best one. I should have done it maybe with this one, but oh well, it'll be fine. And then with a very fine pencil, so a very sharp pencil, this one will do fine, I'm going to draw lines coming out of the center like so. Maybe 3 or 4 each petal. Just to give it a little bit of texture and make it look a little bit more like it's, with the curve of it, especially if you make them all going curving the correct direction, make it look like the petals coming out and folding. So for example, if I did this one up here, I might do like that one, that, and that, and it kind of makes it look like the petal is coming off and curving a little bit. Don't do it like this. This is not a good one. Do all of your curves the same direction. Bad teacher, no apple. And then only 2 of this one. I don't want to have to squeeze it in if I'm not firm. There. Could be different directions on each different petal, so I could do this one going this way. And not too much of a curve either, but just enough to show that it's coming out a bit. And then color that red. Once you've got your coloring, your lines, and everything, you can pick your green for the stem of your poppy, because poppies are plants, flowers, and they have green stems. I use this one. And just, if you have your poppies close enough together, you could tie them together in a bouquet, being careful of how you layer them, and just put the stem on them. Like I said, this is a very simple art. I'm not going to actually color these other 2. But I might put the stems on them just to look like they're going in the right direction here. Maybe they're coming off of the same plant. I could also do it vertically and put poppies coming off of the same plant. But I think poppies are a little bit more like dandelions. Look up poppies. Just look up traditional red poppies and see what they are on Google. Just Google plant and go from there. Absolutely. And like I said, I'm not taking as much time on this as I think you should, but it's Saturday. So once you've done this, you can put a background. Now, I would not put grass along the bottom here because poppies are not the biggest of flowers. And thank you for bringing me that piece of garbage, Aunt Caliban. So the grass would be up here, and I don't want to put that. So I would probably just put sky in the background, maybe some blue. I might put, if I want to do some perspective, I could put a hill in the background, sort of a ground back there, and then sky. Finish the drawing however you'd like, and show me what it looks like. I'm excited to see how you guys are doing your poppies. An alternative method of drawing poppies is even more simple. From what I've seen, it looks a bit like you're drawing two circles. They overlap like a Venn diagram. They should be about the same size. And then you erase the middle. Put your black dot in the middle there. You might see poppies made like this. Memorial Day, Labor Day. Just the two circles with the dot in the middle to hold them together. And then the red. So if you're drawing a lot of poppies, and again, this is very poor drawing here, with the red on the outside, with the black on the outside. If you're drawing a lot of poppies, you might intersperse the different kinds of ways to draw them. But I'm interested to see how your Memorial Day poppies will turn out.